So I binged the new Netflix original show Insatiable over the weekend. I do have some thoughts on the show, and I just wanted to talk about my true thoughts and my true feelings on the show and how much I did enjoy it. So let's talk about Insatiable.
This land was made for you and me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sitting here with Skoda. His brother just left to go to the vet, so Cooper is at the vet and everything just to get his toenails done. And he's had this mole that was bleeding profusely. We literally had to shave part of his stomach so he could stick the band-aid on so it'd stay, because it was bleeding everywhere, all the floor. There were days when I was just cleaning up blood. It was a great time, great time. So Skoda's like, ooh, where's my brother at? He's actually not whining as bad as he has. I think I have vlogs of him literally howling. But he's just being a little bit whiny, huh, Coco? You being a little bit whiny? Yes, I am. Yeah, so he's just being a little bit whiny. Just gotta love on him a little bit extra. But I'm gonna go get my bagel. I'm gonna have lunch. It's literally 11 right now, but I'm gonna have lunch probably in an hour. But I'm just having a bagel, and I really want to talk about Insatiable, so we're gonna do that. So let's get my bagel. Is this how it's supposed to be? You just wanted me to love on you, huh? Okay, so I know I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's vlog that I did binge Insatiable all over the weekend. I started on Friday and then I finished it yesterday on Sunday. It was I watched 3 or 4 episodes before bed kind of show, and I just in the morning I was like, okay, I'm almost done with it, might as well just finish it off. And I do have thoughts on the show. I know a lot of people have just strong opinions about the show. It's kind of like 13 Reasons Why, and I didn't expect this show to be like this, to be a show where people have such strong opinions around. To me, it's a comedy and stuff. They do talk about serious issues in the show, but they kind of put lightheartedness into them. So I didn't really expect people to really have issues with the show, or to have huge problems where they're bashing them on the internet. I do want to mention that I do like the show, and also I want to mention at this point, if you haven't seen the show and you plan on watching it, be sure to not watch this part of the vlog. I'll put a timestamp when I stop talking about this show, and you can always come back to the vlog and check this out. But yeah, I do want to mention that, and the show does address things body dysmorphia and stuff being fat, being skinny, losing weight, stuff like that. So if that bothers you, I guess, in any sort of way, be sure to click off this video, because this video will not be for you. But I do want to talk about this show because I think it honestly was a really funny show. I really liked it. The characters were more unique than they are in typical shows, and just they're not the typical characters you see in this type of show. So basically I'm going to explain what the plot is, so be aware there are spoilers. I'm going to try not to go too in depth, but I will be addressing spoilers. So I feel just to give my opinion on the show, I feel I have to address spoilers. But if you're not up to date, or if you haven't seen it yet, just be sure to click off if you don't want to hear what happens. But basically the base of the show is about this girl named Patty, who is played by Debbie Ryan, and let me just say, I loved her since The Sweet Life on Deck. That's when I started, that's when I first saw her acting, and I've loved her ever since. Everything she's been in, she's been amazing, and I think this is her best role. To be honest, this is her best role, for real. It's so good, and I loved the show. Seriously, loved it. It is such a great show. She played Patty just so well. So Patty is this girl who is overweight and stuff, and they kind of show her, and she was bullied at school because of it. And then basically she gets in an altercation with a homeless man. She punches him, and then he punches her, knocking her out. She's not able to talk for a month because he hit her in her jaw, breaking it or something. And then yeah, so that's how it kind of starts. Then we also have Bob, who is played by Dallas Roberts, and I think this is why a lot of people are just he's weird, he's creepy, because a lot of people have watched SVU and Chicago PD with their crossovers before, and just with all the episodes he was in SVU, and people are like, oh yeah, definitely he's carrying on his character to this role. No, he's not, and I think he is a really great actor. He was a really great actor on that show. His acting on SVU and Chicago PD, even though he was a serial rapist killer, he was amazing, because he just played that role very well, and I think he plays this role very well. And I think sometimes when people are on certain shows, people have a hard time separating each character, and I'm able to do that. I separate each character because I'm they're not all the same, and I love the character of Bob, especially his relationship with Patty. I think they have a great father-daughter relationship, even though he's not her father. Wouldn't that be weird if he was her father though? Plot twist. Yeah, so that's basically, and then Bob on the other hand, he is at a pageant and he's coaching. I believe her name is Trixie. What is her name? I don't know. I'm probably gonna Trixie. I don't know. I forget her name honestly, and I've binged the show all weekend. That's kind of sad. But yeah, so he's coaching her, and then she ends up losing the race to the pageant because this show goes into pageants as well, which I think was very interesting. And so he's coaching her and stuff, and then it goes to who wins, and he's like, she has to use a smart answer to win because, and let's be honest, this girl is stupid. Not gonna lie. And she's so dumb, and then so like she's not very smart, and then she like gets the answer, like I guess she doesn't say the right thing. She loses the pageant to Magnolia, who we'll get into later, and so she loses the pageant to Magnolia, and so then her mother accuses Bob of like molesting her or something like that, like, and so he's also a lawyer as long as being a pageant coach, and so his reputation was ruined by her mother by these false allegations that weren't even 1% true, and so his lawyer career is destroyed. So he takes Patty's case with the homeless man hitting thing to kind of boost his career, but he takes it pro bono, and so then he ends up winning that case with Patty, and then he wants to get her into pageants. Like, he sees her for the first time, he's like, okay, where's Patty? Because he's expecting obviously a fat girl to show up, and then she like shows up, and it's like she's skinny and she's lost 70 pounds, I think it was, and so he's like, oh, this is my next bet at pageants, and he kind of convinces her to get in pageants. Takes some convincing, and then she decides to do pageants, and I love just their relationship together, and I just love everything we see throughout the show. We see a lot of things. We see people talk about like being like trans and stuff, and like how that is in their body, and we also see a comedy to it. I think this show is great because it's not like 100% like this like dark and stuff like that. It's not super dark. It's a comedy, so they take a lot of like to these things, and I think people really need to realize it. I think people's major issue with the show was that Patty did get skinny, and it was like, oh, she felt like she had to be skinny to feel beautiful. I don't really think they show that, because I think they show a lot of people of different body types on the show. They show skinny girls, they show girls that are more plus sized and stuff, and everyone on the show kind of says, oh, I love how I am in that body. And I know Patty doesn't really love how she is in her body in the beginning, but I think towards the end she kind of like, is accepting how she looks now with her new body. I think the most relatable scene in the show was the episode where she's crying in the dressing room in a bikini. I think that's super relatable because a lot of girls feel the pressure to look good in bikinis and stuff, and it's hard. It's something I've definitely gone through, and I think a lot of girls have gone through. So I think based on that, it's not like a like hardcore relatable show, but I think it is like an amazing show, and I think there are things you can relate to in the show, but it's not like, oh, I can relate to every character. The characters are more unique and there's more to them, which I really like. And I just think it's a really funny show. If you're looking for a funny but also like a show that does like address something, I think it's a great show. And I personally liked how it was a comedy. I think people are taking this way too seriously. I think it's an amazing funny show, so much funny, but I do think it is for a certain type of audience. Definitely if you're under the age, I'd say, of like 14, I'd probably ask your parents before watching it. Even if you're like 14 or 15, I'd ask before watching it. There is like some sexual content, and then there's also just like, a lot of swearing and stuff like that. It is like they can do what they want with that, and yeah, I think it's really funny but great show. And leave your opinions down below, but like I said in my 13 reasons one, just if you're gonna leave nasty comments, like because I don't agree with the same way you do, then just don't even bother commenting, because your comment will be deleted like right away. I can deal with hate, but like, we don't all have to have the same opinion, and I just don't really feel that we need to have hate here. Let's spread love in the comments. If you're gonna comment, that's how it's gonna be. And yeah, I really liked it, and if you haven't checked it out already, you definitely should. And then when you finish it, let me know what you think. I do have friends that didn't like it, and that's cool. Like, I can love something, you can hate something. I can hate something, you can love something. We all have different opinions for a reason. We're all different people for a reason. So yeah, I really did enjoy the show, like I probably said 5 times. And yeah, back to the regular scheduled programming vlog. Lastly, I just wanted to add, I almost forgot about this, but I liked how when Patty did get skinnier, I liked how she still had issues. I just wanted to add that. And also I want to add, I liked how she still was with friends with her friend Nani, because I feel like a lot of times in movies when girls like get super skinny, they ditch their friends they were friends with before that aren't the quote-unquote cool girl. They drop them, just like, you know, they drop their friends. And I liked how she always was friends with Nani. I know they went through their hardships, they went through a lot of stuff together, they went through stuff as friends, but I feel like they stayed stronger and they stayed friends, which I really liked. I feel like sometimes you just drop your friends when you become a certain way, which I don't think should happen. It's just not okay. And yeah, I liked how they kind of showed that in the show. So yeah, that's the rest of my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed.
Who's home? Is Cooper home? Scotty, Cooper's home. Look, he's right there. Scotty, Cooper's home. Come on. Scotty, Cooper's home. Cooper's home. Go get him. Aww. Scotty. Ooh, baby. Skoda just climbed up here and he's laying near my feet, but then Cooper wants to get up and he's like, hey, I belong here too. Come on, Cooper. He's like, my brother's right there. Cooper, you can fit too. Now everybody is happy. Huh, Coop. Huh, Coco. And I'm editing, of course. Okay, so this is the face mask that I'm wearing right now, which I'll show you in a second. Is the Totes Oats Honey and Sweet Almond Oil face mask from Perfectly Posh, and I love it. It's so good. It's so moisturizing, and that's what I need. Okay, so this is what the face mask looks like on. Super crazy. Quick little Ulta haul. I got the Catrice Cosmetics Liquid Camouflage Concealer. Finally, I found this in store, and I got this in the lightest shade and everything, and I can't wait to try this because I've never tried Catrice. I want to try more of this stuff next time I go to Ulta. And I just repurchased my favorite concealer, which is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer in C3. Hey friends, so it's the next day. I actually realized when I started the next day's vlog that I never ended the day before's vlog, so that's fun. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. I know I talked about a TV show, and I hope it was a good enough vlog. I feel like it was. I don't know. I'm loving these chill, somewhat doing things kind of vlogs, so I hope you enjoyed it too. Do please give a thumbs up and comment down below. I love reading comments. Love it so much. And yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already and hit the notification bell to be notified when I post these videos, because I want to try and do daily at least for 5 days. We're trying it. I'm actually like working so hard at it. Like seriously. And yeah, so Skoda and I will see you in our next vlog. Bye. Bye everyone. See you tomorrow.
We're not watching Katie. You dig in, she takes photo op of her food.
Baby.
What are you doing, a boomerang?
Yeah, Mom, sure.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.